Hello, welcome. It's HardLore time here at Quill's Coffee in Louisville, Louis, Kentucky, Lou?
It's Louisville.
Oh my God. It's Bryan Garris from Knocked Loose. Wow, and he's mic'd up and ready to go.
You're mic'd up and you knew. You knew we'd be here.
Thank you for joining us today, Bryan.
Yeah,
Who's that handsome young lad right there?
That's Bryan Garris from Knocked Loose.
You were just telling us about that day.
Yeah.
Is that a rough day?
That was a rough day.
Explain why.
That was the day that we filmed our live stream for during lockdown. We waited out for as long as we could to try not to, but then we thought maybe we just should. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
I hadn't screamed in a year and a half.
Your vocal sounds so good in that live stream.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We had a location picked out. We were going to do it inside of this like old church.
Sexy.
And they bailed with 12 hours notice
Nice.
before we were supposed to start filming.
Sexy.
So luckily Nate from Zabalba
yeah.
hooked us up with the warehouse that we ended up shooting it in front of like an LED wall. I hit up our graphic designer and was like, I need 45 minutes of LED footage in 12 hours.
Perfect.
And he like literally didn't sleep. And we were filming it so it wasn't live, but we were filming it as the songs were coming in. Like we were all just chilling and we'd get a text and we'd be like, oh, Dropbox is updated. We'd go get into place and we'd do that
awesome.
song. Yeah.
Dropbox.
Some hard.
Yeah.
You notice he didn't say Google Drive.
He converted me to Dropbox. I get it now.
It's embarrassing that I knew you when you weren't a Dropbox.
Listen.
Thank you for that.
Right,
We got to stop Google Drive.
You've turned heel on me.
It's
The Google Drive epidemic is out of control. You can't download the stuff. Dropbox is instant. You can share with your friends or your enemies. And that's what I prefer to do.
Yeah.
Tell us about this banner.
Oh, so if you're not from Louisville,
From where?
Louisville. Most of you probably aren't from Louisville.
Yeah.
But all over Louisville, ever since I've like growing up and stuff, there's banners like this all over the place that are just like important people from the city that will say like Muhammad Ali's Louisville and like Jennifer Lawrence's Louisville. And I've always said that like one day it would be so cool to have a Knocked Loose one. So this was actually a gift from our lighting person Taylor and our manager James Vitalo. They actually surprised us with this banner, so this is my first time actually seeing it.
Wow.
Taylor, official 6th member.
Yeah, Taylor, official 6th member. Also mentioned on the show before, she has a master's degree.
Listen, the first time Bryan and I really hung out, he came over to my house. This is the hardest lore ever. And he was telling me, we're telling each other about our partners. He's like, my partner Taylor, she has a master's degree. And I was like, damn, are you serious? And I could see that you second guessing whether or not you were right. And you were like, yeah.
I think I was commenting on the fact that we both have like very smart partners.
Yeah.
And we're just
And then
like,
here we are.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, like
Yeah,
Taylor,
she's a master of some.
degree. And he said, does she really? And his excitement immediately let me know that I was wrong. But I didn't know him well enough, so I was just like,
Yes.
I've got to lie.
yeah.
She does.
And then I went home that night and Taylor was in like taking a bath. I just knocked on the door and I was like, do you have a master's degree? And she was like, no. And I was like, oh God.
Was it an associate's?
Bachelor's.
No, bachelor's.
Oh, that's
degree.
still, hey.
It's still impressive.
Pretty
Very
gangster,
But
regardless.
I didn't, yeah, it was
Negative
funny because you
bachelor's.
brought it up later too. Like things got quiet. We were watching YouTube, which
Yeah, I was
is the
just
best
like,
way to hang out.
it is.
Just give food
That's
and
how
then
you get
go
to
watch
know a guy.
YouTube.
It
Yeah.
really is.
And you were like, man, I can't believe she has a master's. And I was like,
I know. Me neither now.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So you're telling us that today we're going to be eating something called a hot brown?
yeah, it's a...
You can get shot for saying that in some places.
Yeah.
It's a Louisville dish. There's a hotel here called the Brown Hotel, and it was invented there.
Okay.
Describe it. Describe the dish.
The hot brown is an open-faced sandwich, 2 pieces of Texas toast, turkey, ham, like a cheese sauce, a fried green tomato on top of it.
Oh.
It's very, very good. It is super filling. The place that we're going to, I used to actually wait tables there.
Fuck yeah.
They would let me tour. Me and our drummer Paxson worked there. They offer a half brown because of how big it is.
We might be a couple half browns right here.
Yeah.
We're going to Jets after.
We're gonna go to Jets.
Yeah.
Well, let's go try this hot brown. You know, you had my curiosity, now you have my attention. So I'm starving. I've never been this hungry in my life, except aside from.
I wanted to tell a quick story. Yesterday, I left from Chicago. They had a layover in Chicago. I was there early because we wanted to get McDonald's at O'Hare. Lovely O'Hare International Airport has a McDonald's in every terminal, as you know.
Big fan. Yeah.
As you know. So I was going to meet them. We were going to have our meal. He was so cranky and so upset that we couldn't even walk back to our gate with our food. We had to eat there. And then he became a whole other person.
I was very hungry.
McDonald's, I feel like it's important that you eat it the second they hand it to you.
Thank you.
Because you let it age at all and it just gets
There's
worse.
a 5-minute window on them fries.
Yeah.
Okay?
What's your order?
Double cheeseburger.
Love it.
Medium fry.
Cheeseburger or a McDouble?
Double cheeseburger.
Double cheese because you get the 2 pieces.
You get the 2 pieces
Wow.
of cheese, yeah. And plus, like a McDouble now after tax is almost as much anyways.
It's like $3.59.
Yeah.
It used to be $1.07.
Yeah.
I remember.
Dark times.
Sometimes I'll do a McChicken as well. Sometimes I'll do a filet of fish as well.
You haven't heard the Jost episode yet.
I haven't.
You want to
Extra
know?
tartar.
He gets a filet of fish with extra cheese and extra tartar.
That's insane.
Jamie,
Tartar sauce is insane. I mean, I'm not.
You're not anti-tartar, but you're not pro-double tartar.
Yeah, I'm not knocking anything Jamie Josta does.
maybe he's on
How
to something.
can you?
Maybe he's on
Yeah.
to something.
What do we know?
How can you?
Yeah.
Let's go eat this fucking hot brown over there. So I can,
Make it.
hot brown all
What's
over
the name of the
myself.
place?
The restaurant is called 119.
We'll see you at 119. Bang.
So that's,
We're cruising along.
yeah, it's killing.
Colin, do a blast off here.
All right, we're seated at our table in 119 West Main. LaGrange, Kentucky?
Yeah.
LaGrange?
LaGrange.
LaGrange, I
Like
got
the
it.
ZZ
Yeah.
Top song.
Yeah.
Just like the ZZ Top.
Brown.
So what's the
Play the
thing?
hot brown.
Oh, the thing is the hot brown. Well, there's a lot of things. Honestly, there's so much good stuff here, but you all should do the hot brown.
We're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do a half brown.
We should do 3 half browns.
Yeah.
And we should do the Reuben wontons,
Okay.
and we should do the bread pudding.
You don't want me to eat chicken liver like you were saying?
Not from here. Just because I haven't had it, so I can't recommend it. That's
Yeah,
new.
well,
Since I worked here, that's
okay.
new. If you want chicken livers,
You just order for us as the
Okay.
king of this joint.
okay.
Do you think your old locker's back, your cubby's back there?
You got your hairnet back there?
No, I luckily didn't have to wear a hairnet.
That's disgusting.
Huge.
I didn't. I just served, but I was
Yeah, you
terrible
did.
at it. I was terrible at
Serving
it.
cunts.
Ass.
Me and our
He
drummer
went to
worked
every
here.
table and went,
Me and our drummer worked here, and our drummer, if you don't know him, is like the jolliest person on earth.
People say like golden retriever boyfriend,
Yeah.
whatever, like that's like a thing. He's an actual hound.
he's
Yeah.
jovial as fuck.
Yeah.
Dude. He's
So
the
nice.
most delightful. I've never seen him in a bad mood.
Yeah. So
Ever.
he just like walks up and people would just throw tips at him. And then me, I couldn't get him to fucking tip me to save their life. Because he comes up and he's like juggling their drinks. And I come up and I'm like, hey.
What can I get you dudes?
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
still chewing on a cig.
He's like, oh, how's it going? He always like taps his belly.
What can I get
Nice.
you? Dude, I can totally see it.
I just walked in from a smoke break, still
right.
blowing smoke out
You're
of my
still on the smoke
yeah.
break.
Yeah.
Serving. What the fuck you want?
yeah.
So, a half brown is tender oven roasted turkey, country
Yeah.
ham,
Yeah.
maple bacon,
Could do without it.
fried green tomato,
Yeah.
cheesy Mornay sauce, and melted cheddar
Yeah.
over a thick slice of Texas toast.
You got Roxanne on, we're fine. We're gonna be
You like the police? You fuck with the police?
fuck. ACAB.
Couple tracks? Well,
More of a sting man.
are they a couple tricks?
More of a WCW sting man myself. Couple
My
tracks.
least
Couple
favorite
tracks.
genre of music is classic rock.
Really?
Really?
You don't like any?
Wow.
Think about this song. It's the chorus for 6.5 minutes.
But it's probably their worst song. I'm going to be honest with you. As
haven't
like
heard
a
anything
bold police fan.
I'm with you. The reason I'm with you is because like songwriting has evolved into
Yes.
something so much cooler. But it's all you had to do, and you were rich.
If you had a hit, if you had a hook,
One
you're
hook
on the radio.
The hook brings you back. as one man.
Mr.
One
Pop.
harmonica playing motherfucker once said. And boy, it is. Because are they from Louisville? Blues Traveler?
I don't think so.
Should be.
Should be.
You know who's from Louisville?
Where's Blues
Muhammad
Traveler?
Ali.
I heard.
Who else?
Muhammad Ali.
Princeton,
Tom
New
Cruise.
Jersey.
Tom Cruise?
Went to prom with
Why
my...
didn't you lead with that?
Wait, what?
Pretty sure. Either that or he just went to high... I know he went to high school. I know he went to high school here for a fact.
Syracuse, New York.
Dude, I know he went to high school here. He went to a private school here.
Here's the thing. He's
St. Xavier High School.
No. He's for sure watching this right now. And he'll chime in and
He's going to be so upset.
Yeah.
He's going to say, hey, Brian, I heard you were talking shit about that.
With just his middle tooth.
Exactly. Love me some
I can't wait for the next Mission Impossible.
Don't get me started.
Die.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
I think we're ready to.
Yeah, I think so.
We're going to start with 2 orders of the ribbon wontons. And then we're going to do 3 half browns.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You
Yes.
certainly may. You cannot steal what is legally your property.
Good to know.
I needed you there, Tom.
I know. You did good.
You know what I think about a
You had
lot?
it covered.
You know what I think about a lot?
Please.
The pho place that you take me to.
I don't know. I think I want to gatekeep.
Yeah, to
So-
keep people out.
You know what they don't have here? Good pho.
It's.
They've got really good ramen in Louisville,
Yeah, I'm sure.
but not really good pho.
I went to a pho place the other day in Chicago, and I got the like Works one where it's just like every meat, and I didn't realize that it had tripe in it.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with tripe.
Oh, I love tripe. It's so scaly and slimy.
I could take it or leave it.
Not into it. Like if I look at it, I like lost my appetite.
It's like squid if squid was beef.
But I like squid. How many hot browns have you eaten in your entire life?
I didn't know what it was until I worked here.
Not a
There
concern.
were plenty of lunch breaks where I had a hot brown for sure.
So but it's a famous thing.
In Louisville, yeah.
But you didn't know.
Not,
So is that more your fault?
I
or
was like
Louisville's
until I started touring, I was like a
Shelter.
cheese pizza, chicken nuggets guy.
fault? Well,
And then when,
That's me now.
yeah.
I mean,
Jack's and chicken
that's
nuggets.
awesome. But when I started touring, I was like, I want to experience.
Well, we say this all the time as Edgemen. Food is what we have.
That's all we got.
It's
Yeah.
the best.
I remember the first time we toured with you. You all went to a bitchy dinner in Vegas.
Vegas.
A bitchy
And I
dinner.
remember they went to Delmonico's.
It
Was that the one?
Yeah. And I've been since, but I remember at the time I was like, I've never spent $100 on a meal. I would never do that.
That's
The bill before the tip was $1,200.
really. He didn't have to.
What'd you say?
Was that the Chris Sanchez?
No.
Oh.
No. Not that
He
one.
hooked
Sorry.
you up.
You
This
whispered
was-
closer
this
to the mic.
Peak Andy Williams for the table.
Oh.
Like the coining.
Yeah.
Like that year.
It was like Andy,
It was
Steve,
Andy and Steve,
Paxson.
Paxson and Cole, me, Chris and James. And it was 12.
And now $100 is
Are you kidding me?
Taco Bell DoorDash.
yeah.
Times have changed. $100 this
I had an $800 meal the other day.
Hot brown eyed girl. It's a pun.
Brown Eyed Girl. This is one of the worst songs of all time.
Nah. One time when I was a young man, my dad was dating this lady, Julie.
Fucking
And
Julie.
Julie had a birthday party, and my dad was in a band. And they played, like, her birthday party, right? And they played this song, of course. And Julie came up to me, and she was like, Bo, look, brown eyes. This song is for me. And I just went, and just walked away.
How old were you?
6.
How would she have thought you would give a shit?
I don't know. I really didn't fuck with Julie.
Like you were supposed to go.
I'm supposed to go, thanks, new mom.
Yeah, you're not my
Dapper
real mom,
up.
so fuck you, fuck your brown fucking eyes.
You piece of shit.
6-year-olds. That's how 6-year-olds are.
We should do an episode where we deprive you of food.
No. I'll deprive you of life.
You should do a mukbang.
I would love. Now that's you. We've talked about that. That's our dream.
You and I have literally talked about doing just food TikToks in your car.
Eating food in the car. I think 2023 is the year.
Have you had D-Town Pizzeria
I
yet?
haven't had D-Town yet.
Did you see that they had to issue a statement that ever since that dude, How Kev Eats, reviewed it, that
You
they've
love
sold
How
out
Kev.
every single day? Yeah. You got to line up now.
I won't.
Yeah.
But it may be the closest thing to Jets you can get in LA.
I'll use my new pizza community power. I got it.
You're in?
I'm in with these pizza motherfuckers. I'll use that.
Yeah.
And we'll pull something.
I need the plug because Apollonius is way too cool for me.
I got you, dude.
Have you had it, Apollonius?
No.
It's
I'm
crazy.
gatekeeping it from him.
Sorry if I just blew up your spot.
He gatekeeps joy. He gatekeeps.
No. I gate give that. I'm giving that out for free.
You can bleep out the name of the place if you want to gatekeep it on the podcast.
Fusso one?
Apollonius.
Oh. No, they can have that.
Okay.
Fucking Barstool went there. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're a little bigger than us.
Yeah.
A little bit. He shit on Spinelli's though, so he's the op.
Dude, he shits on
Spinelli
Chicago.
sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He shits on Chicago pizza. He shits a lot, actually.
He be shitty.
He be shit.
Whatever.
You don't like this song?
I would go as far as to say I hate this song.
Because it's a chorus for 7 minutes.
You could be onto something.
That's what I'm saying.
The math you're doing.
There's definitely exceptions. There's exceptions to every rule.
Yeah, every pop song you've ever heard.
Yeah, but
Probably
that's
an
different.
Well,
Because it doesn't overstay its welcome. Like, what are some of the best pop songs in the world?
I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Doesn't overstay its welcome.
And
how
the
long
third
is it? 30
chorus
minutes?
is a bridge with a
Key change.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Brown Eyed Girl ain't going. You know.
But I bet you they only say the chorus 3 times.
In Brown Eyed Girl?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
but
shot.
the chorus of the song is my brown eyed girl.
And then the bridge is sha-na-na-na-na. Now, they only do that once.
My brown eyed girl. That's the chorus.
What's some of your favorite choruses of all time?
Africa.
Africa's.
Africa.
You went through a big Africa
Oh,
phase,
yeah.
I remember.
I had one of those moments where it's like, you hear a song so many
Wow.
times.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, thank you very much.
No.
I think we're great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Me
What is
too.
this? What is this?
The Reuben wonton. It's like an egg roll with a Reuben inside of it. And that's like Thousand Island to dip it in.
You ever see that chop thing
probably
where
hot as fuck.
Chris Santos goes, no wontons.
That's your homie, isn't it?
He's the homie.
I followed him because of your wreck.
You hear that, Chris? He's the homie. That's going to be the hottest. What have you done? You've ruined your food for the rest of the day. Caroline.
So good.
It is
Thousand
delicious.
Island. One of my faves.
Breathing fire.
So go on with the choruses.
Africa.
I had a moment with Africa where it's like you hear a song so much that you don't pay attention to it, and then one time it clicks.
Yeah.
And you're like, the overuse of this song really does a disjustice to it because it's such an amazing song.
It's like a scientifically perfect song.
Yeah.
I mean, but the crazy thing about Toto, Van Nuys, as I know,
818.
they have nothing but crazy choruses.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The band is
Whole record's good.
unbelievable.
My friend gifted me a first press of that record.
Toto 4?
Yeah.
Is it 4 or 2 that has Africa? It's 4.
Because of my obsession with that song.
Yeah.
And I dove into the rest of the record and was like, it's all good.
Steve Winwood, Higher Love. Bring me a higher.
Together.
Amazing
Yeah.
chorus. Man in the Mirror.
I mean, anything on that is
Yeah.
like.
What are some of the best choruses within the last decade?
In the last decade?
Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars.
Locked Out of Heaven is incredible.
The breakdown at the
What
end?
Gaga song am I
Dude,
choosing?
there's a video of them playing.
Oh, Venus. When
That's amazing. There's a video of Bruno Mars covering, or they play their song "Locked Out of Heaven," and then they start playing "Walking on the Moon," and Sting walks out and plays and sings it with them.
Crazy.
It's outstanding.
Yeah, that's sick. My nana has a huge crush on Bruno Mars.
Oh, it's so hot. I got Ruben all over the place.
I'm
That's
really
delicious,
gonna let
though.
it air out.
It's literally on fire. There are flames coming out of this wonton right now.
I think it's pretty good.
HardLore mukbang.
This is the first one.
How much do you think you could put down in one setting?
All of it.
Paxson did a podcast with Craig, the Downbeat.
Yeah.
And their conversation started by Craig saying, how many dumplings do you think you could eat in one
The
sitting?
answer is yes.
I think Paxton said like 40.
What size dumplings?
Like
a
gyoza.
xiaolongbao?
Like
Oh,
gyoza.
He said 40?
Yeah.
He couldn't eat 40.
I can do 41.
No. Do you know the story about Marlon Brando and
Yes, the eggs.
dude?
Legend, dude.
Paul
Was it
Newman?
Paul Newman, yeah.
Because in Cool Hand Luke he eats 50, and Marlon Brando challenged him to do it, and he ate 51, all the while calling him a fraud because he wouldn't do it.
He lived. I think he lived and died in the valley. His son lived in the
Brando?
valley. Yeah.
King.
Anyway, we got Toto, Marlon Brando, Paul Abdul, God's Hate.
We were just talking about Sound City.
We got Sound City, Foo Fighters practice space. Here we go. 1,000 islands. 1,000 islands died so that I could eat this.
How do they have this but not like mustard?
What?
Mustard would go really well with this. I know the thousand. I know, but I'm just saying, like a nice mustard.
Isn't this on Rubens?
Did you try it yet?
I just
Did you like
no.
it? Yeah.
I'm just trying.
They assume most people like this, and that's why they get it.
Are we double dipping or what?
I was reverse dipping
Respect.
out of a pure etiquette. You gotta reverse.
You don't need to worry about it. What do we got? I can't hear it.
You hate it.
What is it?
Billy Joel? William Joel?
Was there a particular place where, like, after Knockley's practice and stuff, you guys would go and eat?
Yeah. It's called Red Pepper.
What's red pepper?
We were leaving Weapon X practice, and he was saying, I'm going to take him here to get the hot brown because it's like the regional dish. That's kind of our vibe, right? But everyone in Weapon X, plus Paxson and Paxson's girlfriend, whose name is...
Daphne.
Forgot her name. My apologies.
Classic name. Scooby-Doo.
They were like, you're not going to take him to Red Pepper? And Isaac was like, furious.
Offended.
Borderline furious. And then we went to his childhood home, met his mama. He changed real quick. She asked what we were doing, and she went, oh, surprised you're not going to Red Pepper. But...
Is that the diet?
I would just love it. As Brian said. You're a little snobby. A little.
I didn't say that. Hold on.
He said this verbatim. He said, that prick, Colin. No.
Son of a bitch is pretty.
But like you live in a place where there's delis, delicatessens,
Yeah.
Jewish delis.
Is that what it is?
It's a
It's
deli.
not a Jewish deli by any
It's
means.
a sandwich spot.
It's a sandwich spot. It's called a deli, but it's not like... It's a great sandwich. I don't think it's like a deli.
I'm not a huge sandwich guy.
So there you go.
But I'm a huge sandwich guy. I love red pepper. It's always the first meal I have when I fly
Do
back
they
to
have an
Louisville.
Italian sandwich?
Yes.
Is there oil and vinegar?
Yes.
They don't have Chardonnay.
It's down the street.
We
It's
could go
literally
with
on
that.
this street.
I mean, I'm hungry.
The band was so mad that I'm not taking you
They
all.
were, Isaac was like, what? Like from outside. Wow.
That is like a staple for the band.
Okay.
Because
You're okay with not gatekeeping that? You want that out there?
we can go.
You don't live here no more.
Oh, right.
We can go. We can literally go from meal to meal.
You know that I'm all about that. We've done it. You
And
I
this,
have done it.
so there's two locations. One right over here. The one over here does a club sandwich that the other one doesn't. It's like named after a woman that works there. It's called the Club Wallace. So good.
Yeah.
What's the big one? Langer's?
Lame.
That might be New York.
I like, Katz's? New York?
No, Katz is New York.
Brent's is the goat. I'm not gatekeeping. You can go to Brent's. It's in the valley.
Langer's, I think, is what it's called
Sure.
in LA. And then his daughter has one called Daughters Deli.
What
In West Hollywood.
Poetry.
Very good. Like pastrami. But it's not like that. It's not that kind of deli.
I see.
But it's still fire. But they didn't have anything like regional. It's just...
Yeah.
Which is why we're coming.
We needed to have the local thing.
That's what I want.
Yeah. And there's history because I worked here.
So true. shit.
I made little to no tips here.
So like, therefore, little to no
One
money.
of the worst servers of all time
One of the worst, probably.
in the history of.
But they let me tour.
It's almost invaluable.
Yeah. They let me tour. They didn't care at all about my schedule. Me and Paxton did Warped Tour while we worked here.
It was that recent?
Yeah. I'm about my money. I didn't quit my job until I was good.
Yeah.
I'm going to do another
Man
one.
metabolizes.
At an incredible rate. I haven't shit in weeks.
How's that make you feel? You're gonna get bunched up.
I texted Isaac and said, "Can we go to your parents for HardLore?" He said, "Of course."
Of course.
My man. Whatever the venue is where the first show you ever played, I want to see that. I want to see where you started.
Yeah, we can do that. Easy.
What's that called?
Keswick's Democratic Club.
Oh.
Have you all ever heard of that before?
No, and you know what? I was just talking to Alex, and she said Harm's Way's definitely never played in the parking lot there.
Really?
Yeah.
News to me. Where the fuck was I?
This man be lying. Maybe Sig Mania.
It could have been much more than SIGs at the time, too.
What were you into?
He's a little stinker.
What's your favorite drug?
Dude. No.
I tried.
Mom was gonna watch this.
Oh.
She's a fan of the show.
My parents know
Friend, my
everything.
homie.
She's a friend of the show.
Oh, okay. So they wouldn't mind. What is
They-
her favorite drug?
The love of a loving son.
I don't mean it that way. I just
Nice.
mean they wouldn't mind because I'm like, I have a really good relationship with both my parents. Talk to them about everything.
Brandy.
Told them everything.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Both
cat.
my parents still together. Something that's funny with my parents, this is deep lore. My mom is like very social.
Very.
She's on social media. She like, all my friends call
She's
her
out
mom.
there. Yes.
So because of that, people always just assume that my dad's not in the picture because they only ever see my mom. So for years, my dad's just made the joke like, yeah, you were raised by a single parent, blah, blah, blah. Like my dad just doesn't have the clout that my mom has. But I'm here to put on record that like,
You love your dad?
yeah, they're together. He's dope.
It's crazy. Breaking news: Bryan Garris loves his dad
Do you
too.
love your dad? Yeah,
Love my
Brandy and
dad,
I are
too.
mutuals on Twitter. So,
Him and you?
Brandy.
Oh, well. Yo, if Brandy doesn't follow you,
Eat a red hot Reuben wonton immediately.
I'm hungry.
My dad is in Knock Loose Facebook groups.
Wow. Why would he do that?
Like there's a Facebook group where people just post Knock Loose memes, and my dad's in it.
He smashes the motherfucking like button.
He'll send them to me. Just
Do they
LOL.
know he's in them?
Yeah, because they friend him and they message him, and my dad's too nice to ignore it.
Oh my God.
And they say, "I'm trying to get a hold of Brian, but he won't respond. Will you ask if he'll play at my wedding?" And then my dad hits me and he's like, "My friend wants to know." And I'm like, "Is it your friend or is it a friend on Facebook?"
Hey, don't do that.
Something that was really weird for me when I started touring full time and like when we started picking up a little bit of steam was like people having so much access to that information
Yeah.
that like people that
When you
I've
became
never
famous.
met. No, I'm not famous. I am on celebritybirthdays.com.
That's all it takes. Has famous South Park drawn you?
I don't think
At
so.
famous South Park? Then you're not shit yet. You'll get.
Okay.
Celebrity what?
Celebritybirthdays.com.
Come on, check.
Oh no, famous birthdays.
Punk singer.
I'm pumped.
Wow. September 6th.
That's right.
Libra.
No, what the f?
Virgo.
You're a Virgo?
Yeah.
You're a
We're
Virgo
virgins.
too?
Yeah, we've never had sex.
When's your birthday?
24.
I knew that about you. I
Trey's
just
is
didn't
the
know.
20th.
You're
Irish
the number
guy.
one most famous with your last name. Congrats.
Sorry, Dallas and Trey.
You're the 60,000th most popular on the site.
Wow. There's a lot of people
A lot of
in the
people.
world. 7 billion? You're
we
the
got,
60,000th most famous
We
guy.
got all looters? No, sure don't.
I ain't on there for sure.
Let's see. Colin.
No way. Yeah, you're gonna get the guy from the foundation.
Soul singer.
Yeah.
That ain't you.
No.
Oh, for a second I thought maybe.
The guy who said "Build Me Up, Buttercup."
Yes,
his name's Colin Young.
Yo, when the Kings of the Black Throne theme came out,
Yeah.
a fucking like Wrestling Inc. or something was like the foundation singer provided the entrance music for.
You idiots.
Like Google for 1 second.
1 second.
Foundation's singer from Atlanta.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, is that what they're
Colin
called? The Foundations, right?
No, I'm talking about Foundation.
Yeah, I'm
Hardcore.
Thomas Pearson. I'm vegan. I play Overwatch.
I want to gamble.
I don't.
I want to play Eureka.
What was that meme that was like, I do not have a gambling addiction. I've done it every single day for the past 12 years and I'm still not addicted.
That is poetry. What poem was that from?
You're going to make me cry.
Is that James Joyce?
When you guys decided, okay, Knock Loose is going to be a heavy band, who are you? I guess we should ask.
Who are you doing?
Who do you do?
Who's the band do? Who do you do?
We bounced around a lot between sounds, and when we landed on like just being a heavy band,
Yeah.
it kind of was like, because we were trying too hard to do other bands, and then it was just like the only, like we're all very different musically, the only similarity we have is like breakdowns. So it was like, let's do that. And it ended up kind of being like, I would say more of like an era rather than a specific band, but like the closed casket bands of the time, like
That's
Harm's
insane.
Way, like
That's a cool answer.
That is a cool answer.
just like bands that were in the hardcore space, but were way heavier.
There's a lineup shirt from 2012
Yeah.
that This Is Hardcore. That was like
Closing Times, Disgrace, Harm's Way.
Incendiaries of
Incendiary.
Bulba.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
good one.
Zabalba, like, yeah, all that shit was sick. I definitely had the like, the Dr. Dre Zabalba shirt.
I love it.
You know what I'm talking
I do.
Here it comes. The moment. My first half brown. The bottom one is really hot.
about. This is a half brown.
That's
Yeah,
all some
that's-
beer would say.
So imagine the
Okay,
hot
Bob,
brown,
like-
the full one.
Fire better.
Thank you.
Yes.
I could eat about 6 of them. Thank you so much.
Yes, you definitely need to let this relax for
So
a
what
bit.
do I do? Thank
let
you.
it-
How do I?
You let
What's
it
the
chill.
protocol? I
Let
can't
it
eat
cool
yet?
off. I mean, you can.
I want to know.
Don't
I don't care
how.
I want to know. So is it you don't pick it up? You fork it?
Yeah.
It's
you-
an open face.
Where
sandwich,
would you
Colin,
pick it
for
up?
Christ's sake.
You tell. That's what I'm asking you. I'm supposed to cut. All right. It's chip beef on toast vibes.
Yeah.
To all my military children of military parents out there.
It's pretty good.
Oh, we got one headlight on as we're biting into this.
What's on this? Turkey. That's right.
I've come to learn. It's over.
It's hot.
Tastes like chip beef on toast. Now I see what they were going for.
What are you saying?
I don't know. It's a it's a peasant dish. Chip beef on toast.
You got to get the fried green tomato.
Yeah, where's that? Is that this thing? One time I got a 2nd-degree burn from a fried green tomato.
One time I chipped my tooth on bread at Panera.
We don't go there. That's why.
Yeah, that's possible food. One time, I took a bite out of a pizza and like pulled, and it went and burned my whole
Yeah,
chin.
that's what happened with the tomato. It juiced me, scarred me for life.
I went straight to an American Nightmare show with a burned, blistery chin. Shut the fuck up, dude.
All right, here we go.
Do you like it, bro?
Good bite.
In the middle.
First bite was like, I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. Second bite. Get out of town.
Oh yeah, the fried green tomato.
Yeah, that's
It
really
really
good.
does it. Okay. Not that brown.
No. It's kind of creamy. Are you okay?
I would typically no.
But
I'm
cheese.
I'm persevering.
You're a cheeseman.
I don't like cheese
You
sauce.
guys can make
Oh,
some.
really?
Yeah, it's not the thing. It's the goopiness that I genuinely don't like. If this was all one sandwich, I would hate it.
Okay. I get it.
I don't get it. I don't know.
I'm gonna ask you two a question.
Okay.
Please do.
When you all started being hardcore bands
Yeah.
that don't sound like hardcore bands,
Yeah.
how was the initial reception?
Terrible. Harm's Way probably, it was, Harm's Way
It was different for us
was pretty over right away.
right away. The reception to No Gods and Isolation was pretty good.
Why do you think that is?
Why it was good?
Yeah, like
'Cause I
why do
think
you think that you all? Because like, from my point of view,
Yeah.
I remember being like, oh, bands like Twitching Tongues just get a pass because they're from California.
No, we didn't get a pass. We had to fight for the pass.
See, I didn't know that because I mean, by the time I had heard about you all, you were cool.
We didn't really play a good show. It took us like 2 years to have a good set, I would say.
really.
One good set.
And then there was a turning point where
And there was,
everybody
like,
was
a
like,
weird-
"Oh, I get it."
Yeah.
It was the Preacher Man.
This is Preacher Man. set.
When Preacher Man came out, that was when I got it. I think for Harm's Way, personally, I think there was a hole that was not being filled. And aside from Nails, at the time, we were one of the only bands doing like the HM2 tone.
Yeah.
And we were playing like, we didn't have blasts. We were playing breakdowns, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then you couple that with James being who he is, being imposing,
yeah.
and it just kind of works, you know?
Always a personality
Yeah.
for the band.
Yeah. Dude, quite a song. John's got some couple tracks,
Yeah, yeah.
dude, I'll tell you what.
Because for us, there was definitely a huge period where it was just like, nope, like,
Yeah.
and then there was like, there's been like a couple moments where we just straight up watched everybody turn back. Like anyone that ever like publicly
Hated on you.
shit on us has come back around.
Well, they have
Well,
something,
there's-
they have
there's
something
still
to
a
gain
couple.
from you now.
There's
you know?
still a couple
Yeah.
that have stuck to their guns, which
Yeah.
respect. But
I remember hearing like, oh yeah, that band Knocked Loose is touring like the Midwest and South like crazy for like years.
yeah,
Is that not true?
yeah. I mean, when we got our first band, we were touring so much that like specifically, I remember playing a show in Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, not even Chicago. Bada Brew,
No idea.
Joliet,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh.
and going, hey, if you like what you hear, the flyer for our next show here is on the wall. Like, we'll be here in 2 weeks on a different tour. And we would tour back then. We would play with a band and be like, you guys are sick, do you want to tour? And they'd be like, sure. And we'd just start booking it.
Yeah.
And we would also say, okay, we just did Florida and everything in between. Let's go to New York now. And then it was, let's go to Texas. Let's go to So the first year of touring, we played every single state except for Hawaii and Alaska.
Wow.
But it was like a goal for us to like, let's do all of it. Let's do Montana. Let's do Vermont.
Wow. Have you ever played Montana, Kyle?
Never.
Me neither.
Only driven through it. I've always wanted to spend time there.
I played it twice on one tour.
Jesus Christ. We talk about bands that are like proof of the grind all the time. Mm-hmm. You guys might be number one, you know?
Well, when it comes up, I've definitely said Knocked Loose before. Because like I said, like
Thank you.
before we knew you guys personally, I knew that you guys were out there.
I didn't know you personally till very recently.
Hold on.
But what?
This is insane. Look at Colin's plate. Now look at Brian's plate.
This is a thing. Brian and I are the odd couple here.
And I'm right in the middle.
We're right in the middle.
I'm lukewarm water.
Every time he and I have eaten together, he apologizes to me.
Sorry to put you on blast.
It's okay.
Sorry, I interrupted.
That's okay. The first time, like you guys toured together, and I think that was the first time I saw Knocked Loose. And then the next thing I heard was like, yeah, they just sold out the Palladium downstairs.
Yeah.
And I did like a triple, quadruple take.
Yeah, I mean, I
It
didn't
all
expect that
happened
either.
just like, you grinded until you didn't have to, basically, you know?
I mean, it's still a grind.
It's still a grind, but it's like you're not having to die
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. But a cool thing, and I feel like every member of my band is on this page, which kind of makes like the growing pains a little easier to digest, is that like we just entered the world of like bus touring.
Yeah.
Very, very new to us. It puts an entire new light on touring, because now we have the opportunity, like, oh, we have an extra bunk. Let's just fly family out to hang out for a week, and that's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
But like at any moment, say our manager was like, it's not in the cards. We got to do the van. Not a single one of us is batting an eye. We're like, okay. We're playing some festivals this year, and it's like, do you guys want to fly these days? And we're like, no, we'll just drive up in the van. And I'm glad that all of us are still on that page.
Yeah.
Because I would hate if like one member was just like, no, it's like bus or nothing.
I wonder, when you think back at how that mindset kind of solidified for you, do you think back on the Every Time I Die tour we did together? Because
Like their ethics?
as a band, unmatched. Huge band, in a van, sharing hotel rooms, just like striking their drums every night so that we all had room.
What? Now that's a PSA that needs to be said. What is worse than playing in front of a kid on like a regular size stage?
Yeah, like not a huge stage, just a regular one, and there's just no room for anyone, specifically the singer.
Yeah.
And they would voluntarily just strike drums, no big deal. After sound check,
Thank you.
thank you.
We looked up to them a lot, even before that tour.
Yeah.
Or just like looking up to bands, like looking up to you all, just bands from the middle of nowhere that like did what they had to, you know what I mean? Like Chicago was such a close major city to Louisville that like we would go to shows there before Knocked Loose would tour. So it was like you all came through Louisville so much, and Louisville rode for you all so hard, that I remember you all coming through on tours where you would play lower in the bill and smash everybody on the show. And I took that, like we all kind of took that as like a W for everybody, because we were just like, this band's from close, and like they're on Hate 5-6. Like that was cool to us.
Yeah, right.
Seeing like Another Mistake on Hate 5-6 was so cool to us.
It was.
They played 52 shows a year at some point,
Yeah.
right?
It was.
did a
Every
lot.
Saturday,
Yeah.
every Wednesday.
Yeah.
I love when cities have connections. Chicago has long time standing connections with like St. Louis and Milwaukee, which makes sense. But the Louisville one is relatively recent, and a lot of it is credited to Alex and Tyler and Ryan and now
OGs.
Colin for sure. And yeah, played her a bunch, and that's cool. That's a cool thing to hear.
Chestnut House was one of those shows where I would say a couple years in, it was like, oh wow, we had a good set for
Really?
once. And it was Chestnut House was like first 5 where we were like, maybe this will work.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like Louisville has always kind of been like that, and even before we were influenced by ETID, we were influenced by Louisville in a sense of like every show's mixed. Like we could play with a band like Another Mistake, and in Louisville nobody would bat an eye.
Yeah.
And then like bands like Twitching Tongues would come through. I remember I saw you all once and I was like, this isn't gonna be scary. They're like a singing band. And then it was scary. Like people were pitting super hard.
That's what I want.
I remember my friend got smoked and I was like, this is awesome. It like looks like it shouldn't make sense,
Yeah.
but it's awesome.
I'll never forget, and it was before we had met. It was 2015. It was Code, us, and Knocked Loose at the Art Space in New Albany.
Eternal Sleep.
Yeah, but you guys played before us and then
Yeah.
before Code.
We had already kind of started to buzz around Louisville.
They had a crazy reaction, and us and Code were like kind of getting ready to play, like kind of like in the back or whatever. Like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
You know, this show's gonna be sick. Everyone left.
Wow.
It just had like the best set ever.
Hometown Hero.
And then
set.
it was like, oh, like that means
They're the guys.
Man,
That was kind of a turning point for us in Louisville, that show specifically, because we always tried to hop on. We played with Code Orange like we opened for them a lot here when they were Code Orange Kids at that show. We opened for you all with, we were just talking about this, but Suburban Scum, Expire, Harm's Way. We always try to jump on shit like that. And also when we first started playing in Louisville, we would play like every weekend. Like we were so worried about like people knowing us on a local level that when we started touring, we just kept that same energy. Like we were just like, let's make it to where it's impossible to avoid us. And then like, so anytime people would talk shit about us, that would kind of just like stoke the fire, or like we would tour.
And all Louisville would take it personally.
Yeah.
Which is
it got to that point for sure. But yeah, it kind of just like obviously we didn't start the band to ever like be in a bus, you know what I mean? But like
nobody does except for Jamie Johnston, who knew. You know,
He's the only one.
Yeah, he's the only guy.
So now, like, having those conversations is so insane. Like, having, like, production conversations and, like, seeing what we can do with it and where we can take it. And, like, obviously, like, you and me have talked about this a bunch. Like, being at the level where we're at now to, like, bring our friends. Like, shine for bands that we put on for. And then also, this is something interesting that I've never gotten to talk about in an interview. And maybe you all can weigh in your opinions. But, like, so obviously we're gonna keep taking hardcore bands on tour because that's what we like. And it's funny, the first time I met your brother, this is when we were doing that cave-in thing, and we're kind of just having small talk and getting to know each other. And at one point things went quiet, and he just went, "Are you still gonna take hardcore bands on tour?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he went, "Okay, cool." A lot of people stopped, and then he just like went back to the computer. And I was like, "Yeah, of course," because not because we feel like we have to, but because we want to. But what do you do when you're a band that just has to accept the barricade?
You have to outperform the barricade.
Yeah.
I know that, but I'm saying like, say we put fucking Floor Punch on a Knocked Loose show, which will never happen. Not because of me, but you're like, I can't fucking wait to see Floor Punch, and you show up and there's a barricade.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna
really
be a problem.
It's
for
not
some
really
bands,
on
but-
you though.
No, it's not.
I know, but I try to keep that in mind because like we're still very hands-on with all of our lineups. Like especially me and Isaac, we sit down and we always talk about bands. Like we'll see a band live and we'd be like, we would take them on tour and we'll put them on the list. And then when it comes to building a tour or building a show, like we just did our last home show in Louisville was the first time we ever played in Louisville with a barricade. Wow. And that was like a huge, hard pill to swallow because it was like, now it's becoming like a thing.
I'll tell you what you do. I got it. You do the Hatebreed thing. You do Josta. You play smaller clubs that only a few people know about.
Well, we still do that,
but
of course.
Like secret.
Yeah.
Like they would do that.
Well, now I'm saying like when it comes to those shows, we just try to keep that in mind and like literally design it around bands that can outperform the barricade.
You have to be better than the barricade.
Yeah.
You know?
So like on that Louisville show that I just gave an example of, like our local friends that opened it were the band Gates to Hell. It's like super death metal, like Maggot Stop band. Like you don't need dives for that. You know what I mean? You're gonna have the kids on the barricade that are headbanging the whole time, and you're gonna have people moshing. But then when we do the underplay and we do the venue with like, no, we like had magnitude on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's a good way to balance it. I mean, like Turnstile is the perfect example of that because the first 200 shows they played or whatever, first 10 years of their band, the like crowd participation was the performance.
Yeah.
You know, the fact like that it was insane the whole time. People were playing on stage. They found a way to evolve past that. It's up to the band to do.
Yeah.
Harm's Way is not that band, so it's not really something we've ever really had to think about.
I think that you all can though. Like,
Well, we could be.
so like,
you could
there's
crush
a
a barricade.
there's
but
a
like-
technicality to your music that I think a lot of people can only appreciate in that kind of setting.
So you're saying you're not the crowd participation.
I'm saying we're not a stage dive band, for the most part.
Oh, okay,
We did the
okay.
Cannibal Corpse tour. There's a barricade every night.
Yeah.
It was outstanding.
Yeah. See, we did.
We got a guy who should be on a pedestal.
Yes.
On a pedestal.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like, it's funny, we did that tour with Gojira, and in my head I was like, this is going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. Like, Gojira is this like crazy band that has these giant parts. We're just a compilation of all the giant parts. We just rip Gojira off in 4/4. Like, we just don't make people think about it. But something that I noticed in the tour was like, there is a lot of people that are there for the technicality behind Gojira's music, the like intricate time signatures and stuff, and we would have those like nerds in like Dream Theater shirts front row looking at us like, who the fuck is this? And so it was like we had to find through the tour ways to communicate to this crowd, and that's something that we've had to do over the years that I've always been really interested in, is like figuring out different ways to communicate, because like your band stays the same no matter what show you're on.
Yeah.
But like, I can't talk to an A Day to Remember crowd the same way that I can talk to an LDB crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, learning how to navigate those different spaces.
That's
has
like
been super
half
interesting.
of music.
Yeah.
Adaptive.
It's like, yeah, you can play. Thank you so much. Like, you can play, but you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's also often our definition of what a hardcore band is. It's a band that can adapt,
Yeah.
can kind of convene into different whatever opportunities,
Especially if you want to grow past the ceiling of a hardcore band.
if that's your prerogative.
Yeah. And like, we always considered ourselves a hardcore band because of the community that we're a part of here.
And that's absolutely right.
And when it became such a hot topic, when we started to like blow up or get bigger, I didn't mean to say blow up,
No,
but like,
we know what you meant.
You blew it.
but it was such a hot topic of like, what genre are they? And like, people debating it online, that like, it made
the
us
hair splitting with that shit drives me.
Yeah.
But dude, there's
It's
no
insane.
cooler genre to be a part of than heavy.
Yeah. Like, we're
What
just a
genre
heavy
is
band.
Crowbar?
Heavy.
Heavy, yeah. And like, then people would start to come back around, and we never needed that validation. But
Just wanna rock.
there was like a year where people would do this like really safe way of being on our side, where they would tweet, like, feel like they need to tweet like, it's not my thing, but they're young kids that are going crazy for their city, blah, blah, blah. And like, I never like fed into any of that, but I remember one time a dude did that, like verbatim. He tweeted like, they're young kids, blah, 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 and they're doing amazing things for their city. And I tweeted him and said, I'm older than you are. Like, I've been going to shows longer than you. Like, I don't need this like weird
You don't have to
cosign.
do that. It's performative.
Yeah,
Pick a side, motherfucker.
yeah. I don't need the cosign.
Well, the hot brown, yummy. I had a good
I'm
time.
glad I had a half brown.
Because I'm going to Jets in about 45 minutes. But
Should we go to Red Pepper? Should we go get a sandwich?
No. But I do think we should go check out the first venue you ever played.
Okay.
Let's go. We're gonna. What's it? Keswick Democrats.
Are we supposed to be going to?
Keswick Democratic Club.
No.
Oh, okay, that's where we're going. Yeah, you're right. I just forgot about our itinerary today. I got it all mixed up.
We're gonna go to see the Keswick Democrat Society, where Knox Lewis played for the first time. Kentucky. Ooh. That's good. Ignore that.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. I want to see this venue. All right, you get in the middle. Yeah, this is your movie. Here we are at Keswick, the Keswick, formerly known as
Keswick's Democratic Club.
Republican now, but this was once the site of the first ever Knocked Loose show.
Take us back.
Yeah, so my friend Scott, who used to book a lot of shows in Louisville, booked both your bands actually.
Okay. Thank you, Scott.
At the house, Chestnut House.
No, booked Twitching Tongues in Disgrace at Nelligan Hall.
Yeah, I remember that super well.
He used to book here. A lot of people used to book here, but he booked Knocked Loose here. It was our first show ever in 2013, which is 10 years ago now.
Happy birthday
Thank you, yeah.
Awesome talk.
to Knocked Loose.
This is also the spot where we filmed the video for the gospel. I wish that we could go in, but I assume you guys are going to show clips of that video, but it's like
Here it is.
Wow.
God, that was
amazing.
awesome.
very small, no stage whatsoever, just checkered floor like
Whatsoever.
VFW hall.
A negative
Very
stage.
important
Yeah.
question. What did you look like at that time?
Oh, dude. Like 80 pounds, top knot.
Oh, sexy.
In the process of growing my hair out, thick septum ring,
Sexy.
Oh yeah. the
smoking
septum.
cigs.
How many cigarettes would you say you ate a day?
10 to 15.
10 to 15 cigarettes.
20 in a pack, it would last me a day and a half.
Oh,
Yeah.
brutal.
Marlboro Blacks, they were $3.25 a pack in
Oh.
Louisville.
That's why you started the band. To
fuel.
fund
Yeah.
Sig habit.
Yeah, I needed money for cigarettes. I was in college.
That's HardLore.
Yeah. Dropped out of college
To smoke.
to
Gotta
smoke
keep
cigs
buying
full
cigs.
time.
Gotta get a plan.
Yeah.
You'll hear in the Joust episode, he said, we got to start a band to make a band. Brian,
Cigs.
I got to keep smoking.
Yeah, I wanted to smoke. I really wanted to start taking it serious.
Cigging.
Yeah, that's when
Yeah.
I bumped it up to 10 a
Professional
day.
level.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was probably wearing like a size medium shirt.
What were you into at the time? You know? Who were
Everything.
you?
What was,
Say-
your, what was your favorite thing besides smoking?
My
What was your
favorite
favorite
thing,
thing?
other than smoking cigarettes,
What was his McDonald's order? You know?
Ah,
same.
Black coffee.
Hasn't changed.
yeah, those colors run deep, don't
You know,
they?
my Taco Bell order has changed over the years, but my McDonald's order has stayed consistent probably my entire
I feel
life.
like that's probably the same for everybody.
Yeah.
Huh? I think mine too.
I feel like Taco Bell, I get sick of shit more
changes
than
up.
I do in McDonald's.
Yeah. I
Was the set good?
Yeah, first set was awesome. We were
That's
like,
how you know.
yeah, we were like, so Isaac was in another band and it was their last show. So new band opened for his old band.
Poetry.
Sworn In played.
Which one?
Not the B9 one.
Not the big one. The other one.
The like Chicago metalcore,
Real
like
fun.
mascara. Sworn In.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We stayed at
But
the,
it was
they
like-
played at the Metal Frat the day before us one time.
Really?
They stayed to watch us.
Shout out to the Metal Frat. Great venue.
Great. But you ever play there?
No.
Before your time?
Where was that?
Great.
Ann Arbor,
Ann
Michigan.
Arbor, Michigan. But it was a full-on frat house that had like what, 15 rooms.
Yeah.
It was huge.
I don't know if I've ever played Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a place to play it.
It was probably someone's 4 years at a
Yeah.
university, and then they left, and then it stopped. But it was incredible.
When we started playing Michigan, it was the first Sanctuary.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that one. I remember that one.
Yeah.
What were your spots here growing up? Were you Spinelli's kid? Were you a Chestnut House kid?
I feel like Spinelli's didn't start doing shows heavily until we lost spots like this and spots like Chestnut House. I went to Chestnut House. I went here. I saw so many shows here.
Really?
This was like the perfect small DIY venue because it probably held 200 kids tops, but like 50, it looked good. You know what I mean? So like saw
Why
Cool
don't you
Hand
do a
here.
little secret thing here?
So it became a hot dog restaurant called Red Top, which
What are
is
we-
setting up at LDB.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
They're gonna have a food truck.
you immediately quelled a fire
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
brewing.
It's very good hot dogs. So definitely try it while you're at the fest.
Yeah,
guarantee it.
I think they actually just recently announced that they're closing the brick and mortar and only doing the food truck. So I don't know what it is now, but there was a time period where like Alex and Ryan, who book LDB, were talking to them about potentially doing shows here again, but they had a lot of tables put in where the shows would happen that I think were like made into the floor. So they were like, you just got to work around the tables, and it obviously wouldn't work for a hardcore show.
you ever get spin kicked at the Chestnut House?
Yeah, so one time I went to the Chestnut House. The first time I ever went, I saw Deathbed from Atlanta, and I remember it was so packed that I was like, I can stand here. Like, nobody's gonna mosh, it's too packed. And I remember Alex, who books LDB, and she lived at the Chestnut House. She was walking through telling everybody to download the strobe light app on the iPhone. This was like iPhone 3, iPhone 2 or something. And I was like, oh, this sounds fun. So like I downloaded it on my phone, and the second Deathbed started, they were like, we're Deathbed, we're a straight edge band. Lights go off, everybody just turns strobes on, and I just see flashes of like,
oh no.
and then like I was just up against the wall like
you had
this,
SIGs. They whooped your ass.
just getting smoked. But it was awesome. Great show. Tyler Short from Inclination.
Louisville legend.
Louisville legend.
Louisville legend, for sure.
Nick D from Knoxville knocked him out 3 times with 1 punch.
So like, oh, I'm knocked out, I'm up. Oh my God.
Literally,
Nope.
so like he's moshing, he hits Tyler in the head. Tyler's head, he falls, hits his head on the wall.
Wall, floor.
So floor, he's out. He wakes up to being carried out, and he's like, I'm good. So his friends let him go. He falls again.
Wow.
He wakes up outside and he stands up and he's like, I'm good. Falls again.
Wow.
Yeah. Nick
One
D,
of
hard
48
mosher.
concussions that he's working
Yeah.
on now.
Nick D
He's
is hard mosher.
You heard it here. I want to know more about the origins of Knock Loose.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, where did the voice come from? I'm often interested in the voice
Yeah,
of the
so
singer. He's a unique one, you know.
when I was in high school, when I first started singing, the first thing I ever tried to sing was Job for a Cowboy in my room with my friend. Yeah, I was like trying to do like
Sound like my
fancy
stomach after this hot brown.
shit. But I'm like trying to
We just
do I'm trying to do like fancy shit. And in my first band, I was trying to do like highs and lows and like all kinds of shit. And somebody like a singer came up to me after a show and was like, hey, like you sound really good, but you're doing it wrong. And like you're gonna fuck up your voice if you keep doing it this way. So then I
And
kind
that
of
was Barack Obama.
He said, Brian, I have an idea.
You sound really good, but you're doing it all wrong.
so from there I like dove into YouTube like trying to learn how to do it. And that was also around the time that I feel like I started finding like just like more like straightforward vocalists. So I found like Comeback Kid, like Wake the Dead era.
Oh yeah.
And I started to do that. I was just like, I'm just gonna stop screaming, I'm just gonna do like yells. And I was like trying to do punk bands and stuff. And it was very similar, like very high pitched, like incendiary style.
Yeah.
It's still a very big part of my like stage voice, like when I'm talking to the crowd.
Oh yeah.
But and then one time jamming with Kevin and Isaac before Knocked Loose became Knocked Loose, but we were already like writing. We never knew what we wanted to sound like. There were so many different versions of like, oh, it sounded like Death Wish at the time, or it sounded like, dude, like Have Heart was huge at the time.
Yeah.
Like we were like sad for a minute, and then it was like, so it just it kept going. And in one of those renditions, I kind of just pushed a little bit harder, and it went from a yell to a scream. And I was like, that is my voice at its purest form. And I just kept doing that. And then over the year, so like when you listen to early Knocked Loose recordings, I like didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to keep it where it was. I was just kind of hoping for the best. And then over the years, I've kind of learned how to like mess with it.
That's one of the best answers we've gotten to that. Because a lot of times it's just like, I don't know.
That's how I feel.
You just do it.
You just do it till something happens.
Yeah, I've always wondered with like singers like you where you're actually singing, because like I always had this theory with Age of the Apocalypse, and I love that band, but I had this theory that he was like listening to like Life of Agony and was like joking around mimicking it, and his friends
like,
went, dude,
you're actually pretty sick at that.
yeah, literally,
Yeah, that's how it happened with me.
yeah. Is it really?
I was in musical theater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Of course he was. He loves pop star and all other kinds of bullshit.
Phantom of the Opera, that's my shit, dude.
Respect.
I am
The Phantom.
the opera, not
That's
the
sick.
Phantom. Not yet. But what I'm really curious to see geographically where it is that Knocked Loose started as a band. I want to see Knocked Loose headquarters.
Yeah, we'll go. Isaac's house.
It's Isaac's house?
Isaac's house. Well, it's his parents' house, but when I met Isaac, he was 15 years old.
I like that.
Yeah.
Started young.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are starting late now.
The first time I ever met Isaac, Kevin, our bass player, was like I thought I was done playing in bands. I was going to college and trying to like be an adult. And Kevin was like, I'm jamming with this kid. You should come check it out. And I went, And I remember Isaac had like the Slipknot guitar.
Sick.
And he had the Slipknot drum set too.
Oh, yes.
shit.
And I remember he showed us like some riffs, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then I left, and I texted Kevin and said, he's way too metal. It's like, I want to do something more like punk. He's way too metal.
Look at you now.
Yeah. I gave it another
You want to
try.
go in there and eat your words real quick? They sell words. Well, that's going to be fun. Let's go check out Knock Loose headquarters.
All right.
Sounds great.
We'll see you there.
It's the best.
All right.
All right,
you
so
wanna-
here we are. Go ahead,
Here at
Colin.
Knock Loose headquarters, Brian's going to take us to the secret lair where all these songs were born and raised
Not true.
and birthed. And written.
Recorded, engineered.
This is where Knock Loose was born.
This is
right?
where Knock Loose was born. Wow. This garage is where I met Isaac and said, he's too metal.
Can you believe that? Look at them now, besties.
Besties.
Take us on in. Let's
Besties
see,
for the
let's see
resties.
this motherfucker.
Cover up this code.
Yeah, don't look at the code. Don't come for that code. I'll fuck you up. Okay?
Did they change it?
What did I say to you, Sean? Don't do
No,
it.
they didn't.
Wow.
Was this the Slipknot drum kit he played on?
Is this the PV?
So, here's the practice room.
Boy, it feels
dark.
like
You
I
got
was.
light?
Yeah, we
I
got,
got
it.
it.
Got lights
It's
in here?
coming. It's coming.
It's gonna blow your fucking mind with these lights going. There it is. Come on.
Boy, I feel like I was just here, Brian. Tell you what.
So this is the practice room. This was the first practice room.
I'm honored
and
to
then,
have farted in it. Just saying.
and then it moved to the other side of the house for a bit because like one of his older neighbors complained about the noise, and then
Senior citizens are so annoying.
yeah,
So ready for them
Get
to
with it.
all get lost.
they're not DIY at all.
Straight up, dude.
But then we soundproofed this together, Isaac and I and his dad.
Look at that.
It's got this like thick wood behind these like soundproof.
That's pretty soundproof. Yeah.
Perfect.
Crazy story
Never
though.
did that.
This has never been on record.
Oh,
Me and Isaac are right here, right? And we're holding this heavy piece of wood. It's like this black wood that's like soundproofing the walls.
yeah.
And there's a window here, and I rested it on the window sill for a second to like resituate. Heavy piece of wood.
Yeah.
It falls, lands on Isaac's toe, obliterates his toe.
Oh.
Is that the toe?
The toe.
So you did that.
I did it.
I know this story.
Isaac is writhing in pain.
Yeah.
Runs to the bathroom. I'm sitting here like awkwardly, like I don't know what to do.
I killed my friend's toe.
Shattered every bone in his toe.
Wow.
Had to go to the emergency room. Had to have like the toenail removed.
I'm disgusting.
And it has caused him problems since.
Yeah, I remember on
Yeah.
our tour, he had a bad toe.
So does he get a little bit more of the Knock Loose money?
he gets
No, but like
toe points?
once a year that toe the
nail
toenail
grows
grows
back
ingrown.
Yeah.
So once a year he has to have it removed.
Yep.
Oh, that's no problem.
So, like,
I do
every
that,
now-
I do that without
He does that with a pair of
horrific
scissors.
injury.
Pair
Yeah.
of pliers, no.
So like every now and then, like once a year on a tour, you'll notice he's like limping a little bit.
Oh.
It's like, it's growing back, and he's just like, yeah, fuck you.
This is hardcore 2012. I played the whole set with an ingrown toenail. And you would never tell until at the end of the set, like last minute of the last song, Jeremy from Lifeless is going for a dive and is like, and I'm like, I'll never forget that.
Perfectly on
It's
key.
maybe the most pain I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Chris was loading a 5150 of mine in a case and was wearing flip-flops.
Perfect.
Dropped it. It landed on his big toe, broke his big toe, and then the flip-flop, like I pulled it out Chris was running around a parking lot. Pulled the flip-flop out, and the flip-flop went like that.
Oh, cut out?
Flattened.
By his toe, by the toe.
By the amp.
Yeah.
It was that heavy and impactful. He broke his toe.
So Isaac, you're not fucking special. We've all
We've all been there.
we've all broken.
At one point, this kind of just turned into storage. It still kind of is, but we actually now have like storage units.
Good for you, man.
But I mean, for years, I mean, still, like when we start a tour, merch gets shipped here.
Yeah.
Taylor comes and like sorts it in the living room.
You gotta get that checked out. Not totally soundproof yet. There's ducks outside,
Ain't smell proof.
and they're you can hear them quacking. It's crazy.
Guy's unbelievable.
Who?
Can't escape you.
It's crazy.
So this was always HQ.
Yeah.
Are you guys keeping it that way?
I
I think Isaac mentioned maybe not.
We've been daydreaming about about buying an HQ.
Like a lair.
A warehouse / practice space. So Isaac records bands in like his downtime, mainly like local bands and stuff. So like kind of like a multi-purpose like storage. A lot of it is just because of storage. Like
Yeah, of
his
course.
parents have been so great to us for 10 years now.
And how long has he not lived here?
Not even a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because he's the youngest, and
Yeah, he's
he
like
like
Does
held
he,
on to it.
love his parents?
Yeah. they're the best, and you'll meet them this weekend. They'll definitely be at the fest. But they've just done so much for us that like it's definitely time to get out of their hair.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Usually the van's here. PacSun has it right now for this weekend, but usually the van's parked here. And
So
like,
they're just they let you guys fucking run wild.
dude, we'll get, no joke, before a tour, we'll get 83 boxes of merch sent to this house, and it's their entire living room.
It's too many boxes.
Is just boxes this high. And then when Taylor comes to sort it, it's just stacks and stacks and stacks of clothes. So like a place for that, a place to rehearse. Because now,
But you know what? They're smart because they're looking at those shirts and they're thinking stacks and stacks and stacks.
Of the green.
Stacks.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
thinking my son is so awesome.
yeah,
My son and his friends.
yeah.
Other than his toe, God rest its soul. My son is an amazing boy.
Dude, he's not going to like that. There's no way.
But
We'll see.
yeah, and also like Knocked Loose practice has kind of turned into like full-blown rehearsals because
Rehearsal.
like when we do
Yeah, right.
production, like we practice lights, we practice
Right.
all kinds of stuff.
Holy shit, that's good.
Colin did that. It's a ghost, dude. It just turned into HauntLore.
HardLore. Buttons from tour.
2.5.
Yeah,
Buttons from tour.
watch out.
But yeah,
So are
full-blown
you going to
rehearsals.
have like a lighting setup like for Taylor to practice?
Probably
with?
not permanently, but like we'll
If you
have a
rent,
stage,
yeah.
and we'll have like we'll get whatever we rent sent there, and we've also we've just been talking a lot about ways to make it kind of self-sustainable.
Yeah. How do
Like
you do that?
renting it to like photographers and stuff that want to use the space, rent it to bands in Louisville that want to have like a practice space. Not anything
What would
that
you
we
call
would
it?
like. Yeah, I don't know. A Blue
Think of
HQ
it.
or something.
Ah, look at that.
On the spot, this motherfucker.
Dude, we've got this. We had this light made. You've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It worked one time, and it was the time.
Really?
Yeah, it was a disaster.
It was for me.
It sat in our trailer for 2 months without being used because it never worked. But we had this light made. It was a fucking 8-foot tall LED light that's the handprint logo that we do, and it sat behind PacSun on a stand. So it was like 10 feet tall, just this big blue hand. And the idea was that Taylor could change it and stuff, but all we ever got it to do, Taylor literally YouTubed how to solder wiring for lights and figured out how to get it to just turn on blue for that show. So
Yeah, I
we
remember.
have it
You
just
were very
in,
stressed for that show.
yeah,
I
we
remember.
have it just
It's
in
a different
storage.
I love soldering.
So my dream,
I do too.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Other than like like inhaling lead.
Lead.
You know?
Yeah.
But it
Just
makes you
sucking
feel
out
like you're like,
I'm a fucking
Yeah.
man.
I can do it.
Oh,
My
my watch
dream-
is broken?
my
I-
dream for Knocked Loose HQ is like, think about like Men in Black. Like you walk into a room that's like all white, and we have like a receptionist, and the hand is behind her, and she's like, "Welcome to Knocked Loose HQ."
Wow. Are you taking applications or
Yeah, you want to work? You want to work there?
maybe? Well, first you have to have the room where Will Smith goes, "What's up, pops?" And then
Yeah, we can have like a HardLore studio where
There
you
we
just
go.
do like on air radio shows from the Knocked Loose HQ.
we're already making millions.
Yeah,
Sold.
but I mean, that's just something we're daydreaming about. now that like everybody's kind of getting their own, like Isaac and Paxson have a house now, so like a lot of this stuff will slowly, not together, their own separate houses. So a lot of this stuff will slowly kind of like migrate there. Did you fart again?
I didn't know. You'll know.
It's all he does.
What do you mean?
The answer is always yes.
No, I'll tell you when it's
We
yes.
got to our room last night. I was unpacking my suitcase to give him a body wash that I had for him. And I walked into the room and it was tragic.
Well, I've been holding it all day. Sitting next to Andy on the plane, you want me to be ripping ass, being like, yeah, my bad.
I want you to treat me how you would treat Andy.
Never. Never.
All right.
No.
Noted and remembered.
Yeah.
Any fond memories aside from destroying Isaac's life?
I mean, a ton, yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton for sure. What's the hardest you've ever laughed here?
That's a great question.
Dude, that's such a hard question.
What's the hardest you've ever laughed?
I can tell you easily in a top 5 hardest I've ever laughed
That
with
works.
Knocked Loose.
That works.
We were writing the EP that came out over quarantine, Tearing the Fabric of Life. We wrote it in a cabin in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, like deep in the woods. We wanted to like haunted it deep in the woods vibe. And Isaac does this thing, and only when you write with him will you ever see it. But Isaac, like, we write full band, jam session. Everybody's pitching ideas. Isaac will get so excited about an idea that he'll present it before he's actually worked it out, so then he works it out. And
Right,
so he goes, dude, what if? And then he's like, okay, what if we did, and he'll like give the idea.
Calculating.
There was a moment where we're sitting there and we had just been writing all day, like we're all out of it. And Isaac's like, oh, it would be cool if we, and then he went, and he's looking at Paxson, but he's zoned out. And he's like, what if we, and Paxson behind the drums went, send it to me. And I was like crying on the floor.
Oh,
it was so
that's good.
funny.
I love Paxson. I love you, Paxson.
Yeah.
You talked about something just now. I don't know if you're ready to talk about this. It's been years.
What?
I want to talk about the haunting of Belleville.
Belleville. Yeah.
Tell me more. What is that?
Share the story.
What is that?
I've talked about the, so I have to piss. I have to piss so
That's a
bad.
scary story.
All right, can you go
really
piss and then
scary.
come back and
I'll
talk about
piss,
the ghost?
yeah. This is the story about the haunting of Belleville.
So, you recorded, was this Different Shade of Blue?
Yeah.
You recorded Different Shade of Blue at Graphic Nature,
Yeah, in Belleville, New Jersey.
Belleville, New Jersey, with Will Putney.
But, so, like I said, we write in a jam setting.
Yep.
We wrote laugh tracks here in this garage.
Wow.
First album,
Some HardLore.
which just went silver, by the way.
Wow.
Whoa!
100,000 streams, yeah. I mean, 100,000 sold.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a plaque for
You
it.
got a plaque and everything? Pure noise.
Yeah.
Good job.
But,
Good job, Cahill.
Yeah.
yeah. But then we were touring off of it so heavy that we just would not write. So, like, it was getting time to start working on the next record, and Will Putney was actually like, why don't you just come to the studio and write? He was like, I won't be there, I won't even be involved. You can literally just use it as a practice space, but we would sleep, eat, live there, so it's all we would focus on is the record. So we played This Is Hardcore in Philly and just went to Jersey straight after that for like 2 weeks. And we loved it. So we were like, when can we come back? And he was like, I'm going on vacation to Hawaii with my wife. You can just have the studio while I'm gone. So we did another setting there, session there.
Yeah.
During the second session, we're there practically alone.
Practically.
Randy
was
LaBeouf,
there?
who
was
also
EQ there?
records there. Yes.
Love EQ. Great
So it was
dog.
Knocked Loose, Randy LaBeouf, a person named EQ, and
A dog
Spectre.
named
A
EQ.
beautiful dog.
A dog.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful dog.
A Spectre.
a Spectre.
Ghoul.
And The Woman in the Walls.
Scary name.
But Randy was like in and out. He works there as well, but he would mainly come like at night and be in like a control room downstairs, and we would have the entire upstairs. You've been there.
Yep.
Have you ever been
Never.
there? So
Post-Human was recorded there.
it's like a big warehouse, and when you walk in, there's like a living room and a control room, and then there's steps that go into a giant live room, and then a long hallway, and on the hallway is like 3 more control rooms, a room full of bunk
Good for
beds,
you, Will. Dang.
and then a kitchen.
Kitchen, yeah. It's
So-
so it's actually for recording purposes, for like a band living there, sleeping there, eating there, cooking.
Perfect thing.
It's perfect. You
Yeah.
wake up, go jam. There's a gym up the street. It was actually like
Yeah,
awesome. It was
there's
a
a
great
Little
experience.
Caesars close.
Sure is.
There,
Yeah.
a whole-
Steve's Valley Deli.
Oh, dude,
Respect to
Steve's.
Steve, the
Yeah.
Friday steak special.
That place was good.
But so we're writing every day. Like we're waking up, having breakfast, writing a song, having dinner, writing a song, playing video games, going to bed every day.
Great
It's
day.
summer camp. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome. But every day, like the more relaxed the schedule gets, the later we would write. So at one point, we're writing at like between 11 and midnight. And I don't remember what started it, but the vibes were kind of spooky. And we literally were like, let's write a scary song. It was storming outside. And we were like, ooh, let's write a scary song. So we turned off all the lights and lit a bunch of candles. And we started writing the song that became In the Walls off of A Different Shade of Blue. While we're writing, a lot of it admittedly was like when you're in that mood, things creep you out.
You get
Yeah.
spooky.
So like we keep thinking we're hearing things, and like things just keep happening that are kind of weird, and like just furthering this like mood that we're in. And then at one point, we all had headphones with our own little mixers, so that we could hear everything the right way. PacSun's headphones started picking up a radio signal, which like isn't super uncommon. Like
No, it happens
amps do
in
it.
amps.
But like in this mood, we're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, and we're like,
And
what's
what do I often say?
What do I often say?
Shut the fuck up.
but we're like, ooh, what's the radio saying? You know, like we're trying to like creep ourselves out.
Yeah.
So we keep pushing through, and I remember I gave it a name as a joke. I just went, oh, it's The Woman in the Walls. And everybody was like, oh yeah, The Woman in the Walls, there's a ghost at the studio, blah, blah, blah. And we're jamming through a part that we're writing, and in the middle of playing, PacSun shoots up, and he's like, something just touched my fucking leg. He's like scared. And PacSun is never anything but happy.
Right.
So you know to take it serious. And he's like, something touched my fucking leg. And we're all like, what? And he's like, I swear to God, something touched my leg. He's like looking up in the ceiling, because the ceiling's kind of unfinished, like rafters, to see if maybe something fell. We're looking around on the floor to see if something fell. And he's like fully freaked out. And I was like, it's The Woman in the Walls. And I was like, your headphones picked up the radio thing. Something touched your leg. She's fucking with you. She hates you. Like, I'm just like really
You're
like
goofing around.
Yeah. And PacSun,
Summoning, really.
yeah, PacSun finds, he wears a bracelet, and it had a cross on it, and it had fallen off and touched his leg on the way down, but the cross was completely clasped. Like he literally had to undo it to put it back on his bracelet. So it makes no sense how it would have fallen off while he was playing. So we were just like, this is fucked. Like we started to get like legitimately freaked out.
Yeah.
And then at one point, Randy walks through, and he's like, and we're like, Randy, is this place haunted? And he's like, what are you talking about? We're like, is this place haunted? And he's like, it's a super old building, like you're gonna hear shit. And we're like, not the question. Like, is it fucking haunted? Because this happened and this happened and this happened. And I like said it to Randy, I was like, it's The Woman in the Walls. She hates PacSun and she's fucking with you. And he said, it's super weird that we say that, because where the drums are set up in Belleville, which like they don't record at Belleville anymore, rest in peace, but where the drums are set up, I don't know if you remember, behind the drums is a shelf of snares.
All
Yeah.
that stuff, yeah.
And there's a doorway carved out that leads to nowhere. And it's actually a room that they drywalled off. So there's technically a room in the walls directly behind PacSun. So we were like, it's her. Like that just like fueled the fire. And like we're like legitimately kind of spooked at this point, and like it's like storming outside and it's dark. So we're like, we gotta power through this fucking song. So we write the song, and the song ends with like a breakdown, like every single Knocked Loose song. Yeah, and it's like a hard cut. And then from there I go into the control room that has a window looking into the live room, and I'm like, Will had it set up to where we could record ourselves playing, so we had demos. So I was like, I'm gonna go record that, you all like talk through it. I record them playing it. At the end, Cole improvised this like melodic, like clean guitar thing when they like didn't tell us, hey, I'm gonna try this thing out. They just like did the hard cut, and Cole started going, and it was like really creepy.
Yeah.
And I was like looking at him through the window like, keep going. And Isaac's like, yeah, that's sick. So Cole plays this thing like however many times he plays it, and when they get done, I was like, that's fucking awesome. Everybody come into the control room, we'll listen back. So we're like all in this room huddled around the computer, and we're listening to the demo, and we're like, this song is sick. And Isaac's like, you gotta write about the woman in the walls. And I was like, I've got to, like, this is our haunted song, blah, blah, blah. And when that clean guitar part came up, in like a order, I went, this needs a sound clip. And Paxson went, what if we did a radio sound clip like I was hearing in my ears?
Yeah.
And then Isaac was like, what if we did the radio sound clip from PT? Do you know that game?
Yeah, of course.
Scariest game ever?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool, like perfect idea. And PT is about like a female ghost.
falling.
Yeah. So I pull it up on YouTube, and I start the song from the beginning. And when that part hits, I press play on YouTube. And how you hear it in the recording is exactly how it went, to the point where Cole didn't play to a metronome or a certain amount of times through. So we took the demo guitar just used it.
Wow.
So like the sound clip, the way that it lands on the record is exactly how it landed the first time that we wrote it. It sounds like the sound clip was made for this guitar part. Like the part cuts at the crescendo of the sound clip. And it was just so creepy and eerie how everything kind of like fell together. And then like, I swear to God, no exaggeration, we're sitting there listening to it, and it's perfect. And I sit back in the chair and I go, that's the song. And then all the power went out, like out of a movie.
Wow.
And like literally I like feel like I went into shock. Like I was like, there's the song, and then boom, all the power went out, and I was like, and I turned around, and like Kevin was standing up by the door. And I went, fuck you, Kevin. I thought he turned the light off to fuck with us. He was just like, I swear to God I didn't do that. And we all just kind of like looked at each other, and then like Scooby-Doo ran down the steps. Like ran down to Randy, and we're like, what the fuck? And we're like, you cut the power. Like, you knew that we were freaked out. You cut the fucking breaker to fuck with us. And Randy explained that the breaker is in that room behind a flag that they had on the wall. So like it's not easily accessible. They had like a stray from the path flag on the back wall. The breaker is hidden. That room is the only room that lost power in the entire studio, so it's not the storm. Literally, like, we're here, you've been there. Hallway has power, live room has power. That room has those two towers that controlled every control room in the building. Randy was like, I didn't lose it from the towers. The other control room was fine. All of the stuff that we had recorded was still there, but the lights and the computer just cut. And there's still really no explaining it. But I was like, straight up, I straight up was scared. Like, legitimately scared. I was like texting Taylor, like, this place is fucking haunted.
When we were there, we were haunted by a fucking mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Thing wouldn't stop.
Yeah. The worst is when you'd walk into the kitchen and
it would be right
on
there.
The wire shelf. It would be eye level.
It'd be eye level. Just a mouse, just like, hey.
Should have let it cook for you. So.
It cooked and ate our food when you weren't around.
Yeah, ate all our cereal.
I have to show you one more thing
sweet.
in Isaac's house.
Okay.
2 more things, but they can be straight up a walkthrough. We don't have to really talk about them.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
This is Isaac's office.
This is
This is where Isaac and I did our Metallica podcast very briefly.
This is his dad's office. But when Isaac lived here, this is where he would record.
Okay.
And this is actually where we recorded our demo, Pop Culture, the one with the dog on it.
Yeah.
So all the early Noctilus recordings were all done right here. I just tracked vocals right here next to Isaac. And any of our other bands, like Heartstopper, all that shit, like, was all recorded right here. Weapon X. Yeah.
Wow.
Big spot. Noctilus set list from recently, I guess. Because that's a newer song.
That's sweet.
I don't know what that's even from or why that's on the wall.
I like that the Stevie Ray Vaughan poster got moved diagonally to accommodate the
Gotta
set
fit
list.
Yeah.
You gotta fit it.
Or that might have just been the angle. No, that's crooked.
And then we'll go, I was telling Bo a long time ago, Noctilus played a house show here
Oh.
in the living room. I'll show you that.
Okay.
Young man.
Wow.
Oh, there he is.
Wow.
This is when
Drums up against this wall.
yeah.
There's shots of it in the...
For a showroom?
Yeah, this is incredible.
Sick.
We played, it was 2013. We played here. We put those soundproof blankets up against the windows, and then we put all like merch tables lining the wall so that nobody could go through a window.
How many
and we
people
fit
came?
over 100 people in here.
Holy shit.
It was insane. I couldn't put my arms down. I was in the crowd like this. And like we put the drums up like up against the back wall,
Yeah.
played like this, and then his parents watched from the window to the kitchen.
Were they just like, were they into it or were they like, oh
No,
my
they're
God?
into it. They've always been into it.
The
like,
coolest.
Dude, Isaac's dad loves Twitching Tongues.
Wow. That's cool.
Legit.
Oh, that's true. He told
Right.
us that.
He came to that Twitching Tongues Disgrace show.
Right, and he was
And-
in the front the
yeah,
whole time.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, well, this guy
I'm pretty
is
sure
badass.
somebody circle pitted with him.
Damn.
Yeah,
We
he's
gotta
like,
talk to him.
yeah,
Some hard
dude.
work.
We'll come over. He's like the reason why Isaac likes extreme music, definitely.
Right, because he's
And-
into like Pantera and stuff.
Well, he's into like, dude, like 6 Feet Under and Meshuggah and like crazy shit. And we'll come like over to practice, and he'll just like be in the yard, like headphones on, blaring, just like staring off into the distance, like, listening to crazy ass music. Yeah,
That's
he's
This
awesome.
is a special room, special house,
Yeah.
special place.
There was a time period where we practiced over here because, like I said, the neighbors.
Yeah.
And we would practice in that corner.
Yeah. It's a good view.
great.
Dog-
Yeah.
We got dogs running.
That's all you need, really.
Yeah.
What a lovely day.
I
in
say it's-
Louisville.
House show. Somebody got knocked out cold at that house show. It was crazy.
Would you say they got?
Tell them to shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. You want something sweet?
I want some sweet.
I'll give you something sweet.
They say I'm sweet enough. Oh!
All right. We're here at Homemade Ice Cream and Pie Kitchen in Louisville. And we're going to eat some homemade ice cream and pie.
Yes, we are.
Before we go in, what's your history with this joint?
Well, I just love it. I have no history other than I'm just like a frequent visitor.
What's your go-to?
Blueberry pie, vanilla ice cream.
Wow.
Yeah.
A blueberry, man.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on blueberry?
You'd have to zell me, brother.
Where else
Couldn't
can
pay
you
me.
go? Really? Why? What's your go-to?
I beef berry.
Berry, just in
I'll
general.
fist fight a berry.
That's fucked.
Blueberry pancakes? Okay.
I'll kill you.
He says this
What's
to me
the deal?
all-
What's the deal?
I'm not into it.
So what's your go? What are you gonna get?
Like a pumpkin or a...
Apple?
I'm not a big apple. You know what? As an American, it's right here. It's not right here.
So your go-to pie is just pumpkin?
Pumpkin. I love a chocolate cream.
It's March.
What's your go-to?
Apple.
I
I'm a
respect
fucking
you.
red-blooded
Listen,
American.
No, I agree. I respect you. I will fight to the death.
Where else can you go to just get a slice of pie?
House of pies.
Baker Square.
Oh, and there's all kinds of pie places out in LA.
We got pie.
Yeah, House of Pies.
We just missed March 14th.
Actual cities
Pie
have
on
actual
Thursday.
We got stuff.
Yeah.
We
But
have-
in Louisville, you have this, and that's it.
But this is, look at the lights.
Yeah, it looks local as fuck.
It does. There's a dance center above it. That's
You
perfect.
get ice cream on your pie?
The
Yeah, you
dance center. I hope they got.
Now, are you in Alamo?
Yeah.
Now that's my big thing, and this is controversy here. I believe, with my heart and soul, balls and all, that pie is a vessel for ice cream.
Okay. Oh, good. Good. I was afraid you were going the other way.
And not much more.
Okay. So you're saying
I think pie exists to enhance...
to serve you ice cream. It's like a waffle cone.
Exactly.
That exists.
It might as well be a yummy fork.
I got you.
I am the kind of person that never is like, oh, hey, let's go get ice cream. If I'm picking the dessert, I'm picking pie, donuts, stuff like that. I like hot desserts.
Love a hot dessert.
But I love ice cream with a hot dessert.
Absolutely.
You know what I hate? Cake.
You hate cake?
Don't need it.
A good cake changed my
Dude,
mind.
You ever have the confetti cake from Nothing But Cakes?
No.
I've had better.
I damn near sold myself when I had this thing. And I haven't had a different cake since.
I like a cheesecake doesn't really count. It's not really cake.
Yeah, that's its own.
You know, it's its own beautiful
genre.
thing.
We've definitely had a bunch of cheesecake together.
Yes, we have. There's a factory, they make them here.
We passed it on the way here. Should we go leave here?
We went one time. They call it the chicken gimmick.
Yeah.
The chicken parmesan pizza style.
You guys know I'm not lying.
We sat down. Have you talked about this on the show, the chicken gimmick?
Not what you're about to say.
We sat down at a cheesecake factory once and they said, do we know what we want? And both said, we'll have 18 chicken gimmicks. And every single person at our table got it except for 2 vegans. It was us, higher power, sanctioned in harm's way.
Oh, that's awesome.
And everybody had the best time.
Yeah, that sounds good. Everybody was wheelbarrowed out by the servers, or what?
Because
What
you
else is
have
new?
to have cheesecake too. If you don't, if you didn't get cheesecake, you were shamed.
I'll kick your ass.
Yeah. And then I think we saw a movie.
We saw Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
The new one?
Yep.
That was an awesome tour.
It was a good tour.
Wish I was there.
It was in California, I think. All right, let's go.
Homemade ice cream and pie kitchen. Let's go.
Mike, we're coming in.
Some ice cream and pie.
All right.
Come on.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Do you guys have any questions?
Dutch apple.
What's the
or
chocolate
caramel
chess all
Dutch
about?
apple.
What is the chess?
It's almost like
See, now caramel's a bit too
it's
much.
like a brownie and a pie, but it's actually like a hardened.
You like
pudding is what it
Buckeyes?
tastes like. It's really
Never
gross.
had?
Chocolate balls with peanut butter in the middle.
It's not just chocolate.
No, I'm either way. You had me at hello. So
All right.
I don't know whether to do that or chocolate.
Why not both? It's a holiday. It's HardLore Day.
You think plain or chocolate chess?
Chocolate all day.
My man.
Wow. See, that answer.
Let me do a big old one slice of that.
We'll call this one slice. How about that?
There it is.
Maybe should I get heated up?
You think I should?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I get it a la mode?
Yes. What kind of ice cream?
Vanilla. Straight up.
Go with Dutch apple.
Sounds good.
What are you doing? What's your pie?
Blueberry.
Blueberry.
I'm sorry. I forget things.
It's
A la
good.
mode.
Remember,
That's why you don't remember anything, because you hate berries.
I remember everything.
he remembers years like you wouldn't believe.
Really?
We did the greatest albums thing the other day.
I didn't miss one.
We didn't miss a single
year.
date.
I watched the entire thing.
What'd you think?
It was awesome.
You got a Master Killer tier record we haven't said?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have Satisfaction.
It's on there.
It's on there.
You think I'd miss that?
It's on the
How'd I
thumbnail.
miss it? I was building a bed while I was
You
watching
were building
it,
the
so
bed.
maybe that's why.
fine. Yeah.
What can we get next?
I'm going to do Dutch apple, warmed up with something else.
This is so sexy. Wow. Double D's. Mets.
It's graphic.
All right. What can I get for you, sir?
I'm going to do a blueberry slice warmed up with vanilla ice cream.
All right.
Good?
Sounds good for me.
Thank you.
How's that?
This is definitely the best HardLore episode ever, right?
100%.
Easy. It's the easiest one.
Nobody else has gotten me pie. Well, this was such a lovely day.
Yeah, great.
You know where he's going next?
Where are you going next?
After this weekend?
Australia.
To play what?
Knotfest.
Brand synchronicity.
Thank you, Brian.
I think this is the perfect place to end this.
I'm going to enjoy my pie in silence at the table.
Thanks for your time today and your wisdom and your grace and your
Stories.
you scared me, you laughed me,
My lore.
you scarred me, you tarred me, you fed me. Thanks for watching. This has been HardLore. Bryan Garris, knocked loose, Louisville, Kentucky. Pie, hot brown. See you next time.
Bye.
That was good.